Good evening, Richmond, Virginia. I am Brittany O'Neill, VJ of Beyond the Music and RVA series. I am here tonight with Tina Marie and Vinyl Tease.
Please give a warm welcome to Tina Marie and Vinyl Tease.
Okay, my first question for you guys is, what are you guys' inspiration, like as a band or individually? I'm curious to know.
Well, I mean, for myself, I come from, and I think all the guys do too, right? We just come from a lot of different backgrounds of music. I grew up on country and bluegrass, and then I started getting into like funk music and R&B music when my parents weren't home and didn't realize that I was getting into that kind of music. And so then I would try to always remember to turn the radio station right back real quick before they got home. And then even later, it took me a long time, but then I ended up getting into jazz. And then my grandparents were really into like a lot of big band stuff, like Glenn Miller and stuff like that. So my influencers are super all over the place, and all the way into world music. So for a while I couldn't write anything that didn't sound derivative of somebody else's stuff, so I just stopped listening to anything but world music since I couldn't understand anything they were saying.
That's a good idea.
And because every time, whenever I would listen to Ani DiFranco or somebody like that who I loved, or Tom Waits, I would write a song like 2 days later, and I was like, this sounds vaguely familiar. So then I would realize I'd just ripped somebody off.
I sort of came up similar route. Bluegrass was the big thing we played in our household, and then when I was in high school I figured out you could change the dial on the radio and get other kinds of music. And when I went to college, somebody handed me a Muddy Waters disc and introduced me to the blues, and life was never the same after that.
I pretty much pretended I was in the Beatles from age 3 till, till now.
How did that work out for you?
It was cool. We had a vacuum cleaner that we used as a fake microphone and stuff.
I grew up listening to jazz and the Dead and the Beatles. Wow. So I was playing jazz when I was 9 years old. So it's been an influence my entire life.
So you guys are mainly original, correct?
Well,
depends on the
venue.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a lot of covers we can do, but we have a lot of originals too.
Okay, we like, in a venue like this, when we get a chance to do our originals, we totally love it. But most of the bar scene gigs and stuff around here, it's very cover heavy. That's mostly, we were just talking about that. It's like people they realize that it's like, oh, I don't recognize this song. It's a good time to go smoke, and then you just lose people. So, which maybe I should have just kept ripping people off. At least it would have sounded familiar.
They always want to sing along.
I know this song.
They always want to sing along, and since we don't have cue cards for the original stuff yet, we pretty much do covers so they can sing along.
So Tina, you write the original music, correct?
The original music that this band does, yes, I do.
Okay.
He's a writer too, but we haven't really integrated his original stuff in yet.
You're right.
He's a writer too.
Trying to keep it on the down.
But yes, for this band, all the stuff is mine.
Okay, so when did you start writing your own stuff? How did that happen?
Well, I started writing in high school, actually. I grew up in a pretty rural little small place, so what you did was you went to high school, you graduated from high school, you got married. That's the way it worked. So I would write these original songs for couples friends of mine who were getting married. It was a very specific song about like their couplehood and their relationship, and then I would perform it at their wedding. That's how I actually got started writing.
Compared to the experience that you've had from out of town gigs, what would you say kind of sticks out about the whole Richmond music scene here?
There's a huge support system among all the musicians.
That is so
That's
true.
what I see as the biggest crowd. To see bands is other musicians. If they're not gigging, they're out seeing other musicians and supporting
Just a
them.
beautiful thing.
It's not competitive at all.
Yes.
I mean, some places you see people kind of fighting for gigs and they don't want to tell, well, we're playing here this weekend or there, or this is how much that club pays, or that. They cooperate and share information pretty freely across the board.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Where can everybody, your fans find you guys online or an album?
Most of our communication either happens from our Facebook page, which is Vinyl Tease, or Reverb Nation. We have Tina Marie and Vinyl Tease under Reverb Nation as well, so you can find us there. We have a website that's practically useless at the moment, so it's there and it will point you to other things.
To the internet.
It is a portal. It's like it's like the Twilight Zone. Go through this way, and then it'll land you some other places. But that's under vinyltease.com, so you can get there.
So check them out.
We would like to introduce you to our feature artists. Tonight we have Tina Marie and Vinyl Tease. We have Tina Marie on vocals and guitar, Mark Fundog Henderson on drums, Dwayne DeMoney Cabanis on vocals and guitar, and Tom Crosby on vocals and bass. Almost all the members are here from the Richmond area, and this incarnation of the band started in 2009. But many of them have been playing together in various bands for 15 plus years. Tom and Tina met Mark through Craigslist ad and played together as a trio for a while. When they met Dwayne DeMoney, the band was formed. They are products of various influences, but they call their genre succotash, which is like classic pop or rhythm and rock. They play anywhere from 20 to 50% originals, depending on the venue, and tonight they'll be playing mainly originals. Their intent is to continue playing out as much as possible until they can start working on their new album sometime this year. Please give a warm welcome to Tina Marie and Vinyl Tease.